Hey guys, that's where I'm staying. Sitka Hotel here in Sitka, Alaska, which has the distinction of being the largest city in the United States. Seriously. That is by land area, of course, not population. I'm going to walk into the downtown area right here. I'd mentioned in my city tour of Juneau that it was the second largest city by area. The top 4 largest cities by land area are all in Alaska. New York City is at number 24. So a lovely day here in winter, and it's kind of warmed up relative to Juneau when I was there a couple of days ago. Sitka was first established by Europeans, Westerners. In 1799, the Russians arrived here. They were repelled by the native people, the Tlingit, and then they came back a couple of years later and managed to take over. And so Alaska was Russian for quite a while. The prospector. There's gold, and it's haunting and haunting. It's luring me on as of old, yet it isn't the gold that I'm wanting so much as just finding the gold. It's the great big road land way up yonder. It's the forest where silence has leased its beauty that fills me with wonder. It's the stillness that fills me with peace. Robert W. Service. Alaska Pioneers Home, 1934. And so the Russians arrived in 1799 and then established a town here in the early 1800s. And then Alaska was Russian until it was sold by the Russians because they had lost a war against Great Britain. And so in 1867, then Alaska was sold by Russia to the United States. Seward's Folly it was called because Seward was who approved, negotiated, whatever, the buying of Alaska, and people thought that it was a fool's mission to waste time and money on Alaska. But Alaska became part of the United States, not a state yet, of course, a territory. And Sitka here was the capital of the territory of Alaska as part of the United States from 1867 until 1906 when it was moved to Juneau. And then Alaska didn't become a state until 1959, the 49th state. So just going to wander around a bit, show what's going on in this very sleepy little town, and then I'm planning to do the hike that I showed in the last video that I found late in the day. It goes up over there, and see where that goes. So I am no expert on Sitka by any means, so just going to poke around and give an impression of what it's like around here. And so Sitka comes from the native word Sitka, Tlingit word, which means the people who live on Baranof Island. This is Baranof Island. Baranof was the Russian governor of Alaska. This is Totem Square. There's the bridge that I walked over when I arrived, coming from the airport, which is out on a island, little island there. The Baranov Totem Pole. Alexander Baranov, chief manager of the Shelikof and Russian-American Company settlements in North America 1790 to 1818, and founder of Old Sitka on Baranov Island in 1799, and modern Sitka on Castle Hill in 1804, the original site of the Klingit village. As in the portrait to right, Baranov is depicted here without wig in a modest and naturalistic manner. Russian bear. The Russian black bear, the national personification of Russia since the 17th century, representative of Tsarist Russia, the Soviet Union, and the present-day Russian Federation. The relationship between figure and nation can be likened to the association between the United States and the bald eagle. And then Katlion, military leader of the Sitka clan against the Russians under Baranov. And so this is like a representation of the history of Sitka. And the Russian double-headed eagle, and then the brown bear on the bottom with a frog emerging. Brown bear with frog emerging from knothole. The brown bear represents a clan of the Kagwantan, whereas the frog crest is shared by both Kiksadi and Kagwantan clans. Very interesting to see it described. You see these totem poles and you just don't know what's, really being told what the story is. And so there is a very specific history and the people and the clashes and, everything represented in that one totem pole there. All right, I am hungry for some breakfast, so going to go to a place that I went to yesterday. It is a cafe that you can't dine in, just grab something to go. Welcome to historic St. Michael's Cathedral, established 1837, so part of the Russian history here. The town here was named after Archangel Michael by the Russians. And a Lutheran church across the street there. And a stunning backdrop of the mountains on Baranov Island. The Fisheye Juice Bar and Organic Cafe. And so I got a breakfast bowl with bacon, eggs, quinoa, sour cream, avocado, pesto. Got it yesterday, really good. And a smoothie, strawberry, banana, orange. $24. Alaska ain't cheap. Gonna munch on this and then do this hike. And so Sitka here is isolated, similar to Juneau, even though Juneau is not on an island, it is on the mainland. But Sitka here is on the Baranov Island, and there is a limited road network that just goes north like 10-15 miles maybe, and then south just a little ways that way. Swan Lake Park. Looks like people are skating out there. Take a look before starting this hike. Nice. A little classic winter experience. Skating on a frozen lake. All right, let's give this ice a try. Looks pretty solid. And you don't even really need skates. It is nice and slippery. Nice to see some people having fun. All right, let's go try to find the trail, see where it goes. Here's the trail up here. Some really nice homes. Especially this one. This one's a little more humble. Could be cozy inside though. So it is the Sitka Cross Trail. You are here. And I guess it goes around the mountain, like the hill right here. So you could take it further up here. But this looks like a cool loop. A few miles. And should get some really nice views of the mountains once I get on the other side of this hill here. All right. I knew we'd get a view eventually. Nice one. And once again, not bad for just walking out of town. This is some seriously hardcore, beautiful wilderness. And it really turns into true wilderness out there, that's for sure. And it looks like this is the end of the trail. You are here, so a bit of a walk back to town. The Russian bishop's house. Step across the street to Novo-Arkhangelsk. That means Archangel. Imperial Russian colonial capital of Alaska and a busy trade center known as the Paris of the Pacific. The bishop's house is the most visible actual remnant of New Archangel. That was the name of the city when it was Russian. It was built in 1841 to 42 by the Russian-American Company as part of an agreement with Tsar Alexander I granting a monopoly on American trade. Klingit's Totems and the Battle of Sitka. 1/2 mile from here, past Crescent Harbor Marina, is the Fort Site Unit of Sitka National Historical Park, where you can learn about Tlingit Indians, totem poles, and the Battle of Sitka. After the 1804 battle here, the Russians settled Novo-Arkhangelsk, and life changed radically for the Tlingit. Don't miss the story of the Russian colony, as told across the street at the Russian bishop's house. the Sitka National Historical Park.
So, you know, I love the entity of having a bunch of Arctic fox on the ground. That's the warmest animal in the world, according to the tests.
Is it? What do you mean? Like they can endure the coldest temperatures?
Yeah, I read a National Geographic or something, and
I see.
They really geeked out on it.
Because they're smaller, so they
freezer, you know, and they'd lower like animals down to like 50 below with nothing in the environment, you know, just as a test, but they didn't want to hurt them.
Yeah.
As soon as they measured their internal core, and they started going down or whatever. And so they tried polar bears. I mean, this was a big study.
That's what I was going to say. Is even better than polar bears, huh?
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense because if you look at them, you let's look at the tail, the actual shape, the form, the way they can cover.
Yeah.
They said it's the hands down winner. It can go, I remember reading the article, it was like they drop it past 50 below or 60 below in a special freezer, right?
Yeah.
And it would with nothing, no snow to curl up and nothing, right?
Yeah.
It would be like, it was like over an hour at some ludicrous temperature before it even started to shiver.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Because they're smaller, so they have less body to warm up, I guess. And
it just must be the efficiency,
the
thickness of the fur. And it makes sense. You see that thing, there's no animal on Earth more of an Arctic fox. You see how it's completely fuzzy with the tail?
Yeah.
It goes completely over its nose and everything.
There's a reason it's called Arctic.
Any aspect of the thing.
Yeah.
But yet it also isn't sloth-like. It's like incredibly muscular. So it's burning like a little hot machine.
Yeah.
Coupled with all that stuff.
Yep, they're made for this kind of terrain. Right on.
See you later, man.
Have fun, bro. You too. Interesting character.